Sorry, a couple of minutes late. My phone was being a dick. Right. We're in our bathroom. Toilet's behind me, just because that's where my phone seems to like the signal. Okay, right. I am tired today. It's quite normal, you know. Some days we are tired. Some days we have loads of energy. If you watched my live previously today, you might have heard me say that Mondays are amazing. Mondays, it's great to be alive on a Monday. It feels great this Monday. Whether the sun's shining or not, I am happy to be alive. And I really feel like I am living awake instead of just living. Okay? And I really feel that I have swallowed this happy pill that's given me this ecstasy. Actually, I haven't, and I'm not taking any antidepressants or anything like that. This is just work that I've been doing on myself for quite a few years now, and it feels like it's all starting to slot in place, or it has all started to slot in place. That doesn't mean I will never self-sabotage again. That doesn't mean I'm actually living in sobriety. That doesn't mean I walk around saying, everything's amazing, let's hug a tree. I just feel like hugging a tree today, actually. But it doesn't mean that life doesn't get me down as well. Last week, actually on Saturday evening, after this amazing event I'd been to about called Woman on Fire, you know, empowering women in fitness. It was basically in fitness. The Saturday evening, I felt overwhelmed. I felt anxious. I was in a position with somebody, not in a sexual position, unfortunately. I wasn't doing animal flow with Richard, if anybody saw that picture, but I was in a position and I wasn't comfortable, but I knew how to get out of it. So I do feel anxiety and I do feel overwhelmed. I also drink Diet Coke out of the can. So, you know, I might be this healthy person, but I'm just sort of saying that I'm normal. So let's talk about what I'm seeing a lot. And it's quite interesting how I've gone from being a fitness coach, a fitness trainer, training moms through pelvic floor and core stability, you know, and those that have followed me know that that's my passion. But how over the years I've noticed that actually moms need more than this, and they're coming to me with deeper problems, and they're thinking that this exercise program is going to fix their life. And okay, it might fix their pelvic floor, which will definitely make them happier and stronger and have a more connected core, la-di-da-di-da. But they also need more than that. Self-sabotaging, functional alcoholics, talking to themselves unkindly, body image disorders, distorted eating, all of this is what I see. Not looking after themselves, putting themselves at the bottom of the laundry pile, you know, all that I go on about all the time. I see it, and they're not believing that they are important. They're not believing that they're worth this investment. So I see that a lot, and I've gone on about that a lot. What I'm also seeing is moms with older children, going towards 42, 43, because that's kind of like my age, but maybe they've got older children, because I would say I had Hugo a bit later than some of my friends. And they are into fitness and they are into healthy eating. Some of them even did the original Supercharge and have basically sort of continued. But now, and they wouldn't have said that they are an anxious person. They would have said that they're a happy person. They wouldn't say that they had eating issues. You know, they would say that they have a healthy diet. They do hardcore exercises. They're you know, and on Facebook and on social media, they've got an amazing life, going to these amazing places all the time. They keep themselves really busy, and therefore you could actually say that they are sorted. But this is what I'm seeing happening, okay? And this is, again, kind of what happened to me. Not with the pelvic floor stuff though, but with some of the other stuff. So what has happened is they've had their children and they haven't bounced back, but on the outside they have bounced back. So they've got their figure back, they eat healthily, they're into their fitness, they don't have any leaking issues, they run a lot, they do Les Mills, they do F45, they do the body coach and all this kind of stuff. And now all of a sudden they're experiencing more leaking. Okay, they didn't have leaking before. Their kids are 13 years old, and all of a sudden they're having more leaking. All of a sudden, what worked with, I will have a sip of this in a minute, what worked with them before with fitness isn't working for them now. Okay, so they're eating the same and they're moving the same, but they're actually piling on the weight around the tummy. They're also having more pain, okay? So the pain that was niggling at them a few years ago, maybe a little bit of a hip pain or a knee pain or an ankle pain or a neck pain or a jaw ache, whatever, is now less of a niggle, okay? And more of a pain. Oh, it's cold. You get used to drinking cold tea as a mum, don't you? It's not actually tea, it's a herbal tea. Not that that matters. So this is happening, they're getting more hip pain. And they're noticing that they've got less mobility. They're waking up stiff. That still happens to me. They're waking up stiff, they feel stiffer. So they're doing that, I can't probably show you, but they're constantly, especially if they're a runner, this is my foot on my back, I don't think you can see, but they're constantly doing this hamstring stretch. They're constantly doing this stretching. They've maybe signed up for yoga and they're stretching, but it's not really making any difference. I'm going to talk about the mobility side in another video, otherwise this video is going to be super long. So I'll do another one this week about the mobility and why stretching your hamstrings won't work, okay, isn't working. But, they've got this going on. Now, they also live a very full life, okay, always doing things, always on holidays, always going away for the weekend. Always doing something. So this isn't the mom that is like the new mom that just can't get out the door. This is the mom with their children are a little bit more grown up, so they've done the busy with the kids, and now they've gone back to work. They've gone back to work part-time, full-time, whatever, and the kids growing up and they're busy with stuff for them now. So you might say that they're being busy, they're doing exciting things for themselves, they're on a hen do, they're going away, they're doing something else. That's their self-care. Yeah? But is it? Okay, now, what often has happened with these ladies? Okay, and actually these ladies that you think are really happy and they're doing this really good stuff aren't happy inside, deep inside. There might be stuff going on at home in relationships. There might be stuff going on that we really don't know about. And by keeping themselves busy, they're not listening to their bodies, Okay, so I did a live on this. I can't remember which blinking Facebook group it was now. I did a live on. But I did a live on this. So in my supercharged sculpt, we're in week 9 now, and we're heading towards week 12, obviously, and into supercharged sculpt life, which delves really more deeper. So not just the fitness and the food. But everybody I asked after the Easter holidays just said that they were busy, they were exhausted, they were, and all this kind of stuff. No self-care, no self-love, really. Okay, they just kept themselves busy. By keeping yourselves busy, you're not actually listening to what your body really needs. Now, obviously, as these women have got older children and they're edging more towards 45, obviously there's also hormonal signs as well. Yeah, so if I went to the doctors with brain fog, feeling tired, reel the list off, oh, you're going through perimenopause, which is, yeah, I am. I am. And the leaking, sign of perimenopause, and the stiffness, sign of perimenopause, blah, blah, blah. And that's great. It's great to label something that you've got, right? But I think it's deeper than just hormones. Okay, not just hormones, they're a massive thing, but just hormones. And I think we need to look at that. So, when in 2011 I had Hugo, and thankfully my pelvic floor issues and my diastasis issues created what I do today. Okay, so that bad thing that happened in my life at the time I thought was awful created supercharged sculpt. So there was a reason why that happened to me. Yeah, but at the time I was like, why is this happening to me? I'm a trained fitness instructor. What the fuck? Piss off, God, don't want this. This wasn't meant to happen. Yeah? I'm meant to be the one that bounces back. Okay, but now I can see that the reason I'm not religious, okay, and I'm not into exactly this universe sends it to you, but I don't know how other way to describe it. But the universe aches me a bit. The universe gave me this pelvic floor and diastasis thing because they knew that if they handed it to me, then actually I could really help other people. Yeah? Right. So, but before that, so if we're looking at the ladies with older children, so Hugo's 7, so maybe your child is 10, yeah? The diastasis and the pelvic floor stuff wasn't around then. We'd gone through this hole that actually bouncing back was amazing for our bodies. Oh my God, look at you, you've bounced back. And I was gutted because I didn't bounce back, right? But because these women have had, because you've had these babies and you've never actually given your body a chance to recover and relax and rehabilitate, your body never recovers from having these children. Yeah? It can take up to 2 years for everything to feel better and to go back into place. So 2 weeks rest isn't enough. 6 weeks rest isn't enough. And who even had 2 weeks rest? Okay, now I'm currently working with, and it's another thing that I'm going to have to do tonight. I'm currently working after I finish work. So again, not perfect. I'm currently working with, I said that 3 times, haven't I? Oh, I'm going to have to say it again. I'm currently working with, it's called Closing of the Bone Ceremony. And in Morocco and other countries, the woman is given bone broth to help her heal by her family or her neighbours. the woman is given rest. The baby is taken away from her, not away so she can't snuggle it and cuddle it, but so she can get some sleep. So if the baby wakes and it needs settling without a boob or whatever, then the women in that tribe will settle the baby for her so the lady gets her rest. Yeah? The bone broth, really rich collagen, yeah, which the mama needs. They also bring the mama the food to help repair and recover her. Yeah? She rests her body. She's also, and this might sound a bit woo-woo, but I've experienced it. And when I went there, I was like, I'm not really doing that. I'm not doing that. Oh my God, that's a bit weird. Who wants to do that? But I've experienced it, and I've got space for 5 women to experience it with me. It will be in Brighton. And it's called Closing the Bones, and basically you lie on these, you're also massaged by these women, yeah, do you know what I mean? Massaged and oils, essential oils and all this kind of stuff. Then you are wrapped in these kind of cloths, and it's tied really tightly around you, and actually that helps your pelvis recover. It's also called Closing the Bones. It's letting go of the birth story, allowing the woman to, you know, when your body goes into shock, allowing that. I was shaking. My dad thought I was having an epileptic fit after I had Hugo. He had to leave the room and he was just in tears. He honestly thought I was just going to have a heart attack with the stuff that had gone on during the birth. And look, I'm crying about a birth that happened 7 years ago. But I wasn't given time to cry. I wasn't given time to heal. And I was obsessed with how I looked and bouncing back. And it was nothing to do with that. I needed to give myself some love. And the women that I'm seeing daily, that are in this burnout state, whether they had a baby 6 weeks ago or 16 years ago, they've all got the same thing, and I can see it. They're all so disconnected with their bodies, and yet they're trying to push their body through workouts and planks and core stability and diets and everything else to punish their body, and actually they're not giving their body what they need, what it so needs. And I thought it was woo-woo, this closing of the bones, this letting go. What the hell was this? Yeah? This is gonna get me, if I got in 2011, if I heard a closing of the bones, well, I just deleted it. The reason I originally didn't do the Mutu system, so if you know the Mutu system that I'm an ambassador for, I thought it was boring. What's the point in that? I want to do some burpees. So, going back to these women, which might be you. Anybody else crying? They haven't allowed their bodies to heal. Then they've gone back to work, full-time work, part-time work, being a mom work, yeah? And being a mom is a full-time job, yeah? And there's no, we're juggling this work, and it's great that we want careers, and it's great that the work means that as a family you can go on more holidays. But actually, somebody needs to be this full-time parent, okay? Because it's a job. And you might be great at your work, and you might be great being a parent. Well, not might be, you are a great mom. But you're not being great to yourself. And you're the one that's totally missing out. And you're not living awake. You're just surviving, and you've heard me say that all the time, surviving, not thriving. So, the reason that you might be a fit person, you might have run a marathon, you might do F45, you might do Les Mills, you might do all of this and you might look super duper healthy and super duper fit. But if your body starts leaking urine, that's a weakness, and it's coming out because you haven't strengthened your body. Hi Anna, if you're just watching this, I would actually rewind. I would actually probably do it, watch the end of it, but maybe do the from the start, because it goes really deep. So again, you haven't rehabilitated that body, and it's showing signs of pressure. Yeah, showing signs of pressure. Leaking is a sign with your pressure system. Okay. Pain in the hips, pain in the knees. You know, we think, oh, I'll go and see a physio. Actually, as I say, I'm going to do the hip pain and the knee pain in another video. And I've had 3 people give me different ideas on knee pain this weekend alone. So I can only share you what I kind of know. But all this is your body's way of tapping you on the shoulder, okay, and saying, we need to look at this girl. Yeah, you didn't rest and recover after that baby. You didn't give yourself that time. And what I don't want this to come across is, oh my God, another thing I did wrong. Because you didn't know. You didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know 7 years on I would have anxiety and all this emotion about my the birth. Yeah? Yeah, I've spoke about it. I'm not telling you what happened here. It's not looking at my birth story. It's not going back to the midwife and asking what went wrong. It goes deeper, you know. I can't do anything about that. So I can't look at the past and try and change the birth story. It's done. But I didn't know. I didn't know really until a few weeks ago that there was a massive thing with the birth story that was causing me emotion and anxiety. And I'd love to know if anybody else has this and what you think about it. So that's the birth story, that's the pelvic floor, and the reason that you are probably experiencing hip pain, etc. now. Probably the reason you're experiencing mommy burnout is because you never had that recovery, and it's just going on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and you are really the bottom of that laundry pile now. And going back to my dear friend, who it isn't the reason why I'm doing this live at all, but something that, yeah, anyway, right, carry on in that. So then going back to the busy mom that is always busy. Yeah, it doesn't, and the fit mom that's always busy, keeping herself busy, holidays, hen parties, blah, 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 blah. And it's the mom that's now leaking, and the mom that feels exhausted, and the mom that's having hip pain and knee pain. Yeah. But actually she looks on the outside as if she's doing loads of self-care because she's off to all these places. Do you know why she's keeping herself busy? You know why she's helping others, keeping herself busy? Why she has loads of friends, keeping herself busy? Why she's always on this WhatsApp group, keeping herself busy? Why she says yes to everything, keeping herself busy? Because if she stops, she's going to have to listen to what her body really needs and what her life really needs. Okay? Now, I bounced out of bed this morning. I'm the happiest I've ever felt in my life. So you watching this, don't think, oh my God, Emma's having a breakdown live on Facebook. Because quite the opposite. Yeah, I'm not having a breakdown. I'm crying, not for myself so much here. I did that ages ago. I'm crying for the ladies that I'm seeing daily. Because I'm seeing it. And sadly, an hour's exercise class or an hour's PT session isn't enough for me to really connect with these ladies. Really, you know, because they're paying me to get fit. And I really didn't know when I did Supercharged Sculpt, to be honest, that it was going to go this deep. And that's why I thought, right, Supercharged Sculpt's amazing, because actually we're getting the moms moving better, we're getting them thinking about their body better, we're getting the exercise better, and we're getting them feeding their bodies better. So I think that, and I know that that is super, super important. I didn't know when I created Supercharged, I knew I was going to do a Supercharged Sculpt sort of membership. I didn't know that the Supercharged Life was going to come about. But I've just been noticing the women that I'm teaching and that I'm seeing in my life. And I'm hearing you girls. Somebody's there, somebody's hearing you. But you are keeping yourselves busy so that you don't listen to your life, so that you're not living awake. And that's why you're not happy, and that's why you're not getting results. It goes much deeper than fitness, so much deeper. So there's anxiety, there's emotion around my birth, the birth, relationships. I'm not going to go into that in this live today. But when you stop being so busy, you have to sit with yourself. So busy could be me last night. I wanted connection last night. I really wanted connection. I really wanted love. And I had Hugo. She's great. I love my connection with him. He was actually on Minecraft again. I wanted more connection, so I said I was going to switch my phone off, and I didn't. And 2 hours later, I had wrist ache, and I had connected. But you know what my body was trying to tell me that I didn't listen to last night? So, I'm not saying I'm perfect, yeah? I didn't listen to it. What connection? Come on, girls. What connection did my body need last night? Yeah, I could have rang a friend. That's in Supercharged Sculpt. We do bring that in, and it's definitely like ring rather than texting and stuff. I didn't want to listen to myself last night. I didn't want to listen to what my mind wanted me to listen to. And that's what happens when you keep yourself busy. So busy can be busy on the phone, busy at work, busy, just busy. Oh, that was my tummy. We are giving all our love to everybody else. The kids, the partner, you know, our friends. Brilliant, that's great. We're not giving any love. You've not given any love to yourself. And self-care goes deeper than putting on some bloody moisturiser on a Sunday. Self-care Sunday hashtag. By the way, do not ever use a hashtag mommy fail. You're not failing. But using that hashtag mommy fail will make you think you are. I know it's a bit funny, and I've used it. And I might use it to get customers, so if you see it. But by being busy in your life and helping everybody else, it's a way of you ignoring yourself. Because actually sitting down and reflecting can be painful. But there's nothing more painful than when your body and your mind shuts down. Okay, now thankfully that hasn't happened to me. I found out when I did the cold ice bath. I'm not saying that you should all jump in a cold ice bath. There's lots of other ways of doing it, but it really worked for me. If anybody doesn't live in Brighton and wants to come to Brighton and give it a go, they'll do it everywhere else, but if anybody wants to come and stay with me, because I need connection. Anyone who wants to come stay with me, you're very welcome. Drop me a message. So I realised in that bath that not only have I been holding on to the birth story, and there's also relationship things. What time is it? Also relationship things. But also I have been holding on to something that happened to me many years ago. Okay? And kind of like burying it, not talking about it, not with a counsellor talking about it, but it's been emotionally here. And there's been stuff that my body's been and my mind's been trying to tell me that I've not listened to because I didn't want to. So let's talk about the big word anxiety, which is what the last thing I'm going to get at here. I do hope people can see this because no one's commenting, and I'm a bit worried I'll do this really deep thing and nothing will happen. Like, you'll go, oh, I lost connection. So do give me a thumbs up if you can see it. If not, I will throw the phone out the window, as in afterwards. Okay, so anxiety. Oh, thank you, Natasha. I hope this isn't coming across that I'm sad, because I'm actually really happy. Yeah, this is going deep, and it's just what deep has brought out. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my entire life, probably other than when I was a kid. Yeah? So I hope it's not. I'm hoping I'm by being emotional. Okay, cool, okay. Because I can't rehearse these things. It's just like, and I don't want somebody to edit these videos. This is life, this is me. So cool, okay. Anxiety. Okay, anxiety. So I've worked with people with anxiety and not really understood it. I've said to people, look, just deal with it, just live with it, blah, 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 blah. We all do need a good squeeze, Natasha, we do. I need a good squeeze, although I think I might pee my pants because I'm actually desperate. And they've worked on anxiety in loads of different ways. They've had counselling and all this kind of stuff, and it hasn't worked. And the breath work, the breath and anxiety. I mean, you know, anybody that's trained with me, the breath's related to the pelvic floor, da-da-da-da-da-da. So breath work, I do a lot of breath work. There's also many different types of breathing, and I get it, but we hear breath and we just go, yeah? And so anxiety and breath is huge, and breathing through that anxiety is important. Now, the thing is, most people don't know how to breathe, and I know that sounds mental. I watched an 1.5-hour workshop yesterday on breathing. Okay, and how nobody knows how to breathe, which is really good. I learned some new stuff, which I'm glad about because I need some new stuff. But often when people are having this anxiety and the doctor might say to them to breathe, that because they can't breathe, the breath's not going to calm down their anxiety. I'm squatting and scratching and breathing whilst you chat. What have you trained you, Natasha? But the breath really helps. You know, there's lots of tablets that you can get from doctors. There's also lots of more natural tablets you can get. So all great. Okay. But we fear anxiety, and anxiety is a bad word. Okay? But is it? Is feeling anxious bad for us? I must get some food in my stomach. Is it? Has anyone ever thought that anxiety is your body's final way of saying, listen up, can you listen to me? I'd never thought about it this way. You might have done lots of meditation work and that kind of stuff, so you might be way ahead of me. But I really think, actually I know, this is what I know. Anxiety is your body's way of tapping you on the shoulder, saying you need something. Okay, and I've done this in a video the other day because it's worse knowing that there's a wound underneath the plaster, but not knowing what the wound looks like, than it is stripping it off and having a look at it. So your anxiety is keeping that plaster on, if that makes sense. Okay. Now I worked with Mary years ago on Supercharged Club missions, and she told me about the plaster thing. And I got it back then, yeah, you know, peel off the plaster and all this kind of stuff. And I did a lot of peeling off the plaster. And I've been I've been doing stuff since, well, I've been self-care myself since 2011 in many different ways. Definitely started with the exercise side of me because I wanted to bounce back. But nobody really explained, is anxiety your friend? Because everybody was, oh my God, I've got anxiety, oh God, you know, that kind of stuff. Anxiety is your friend. It's your body's way of saying, listen up, something I need to tell you. And I talk a lot about being comfortable with being uncomfortable and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to leave you with this. And it's something that I want to leave that now, and I will post the meditation up later because I need to get it going. So I just want you to think about this before I post meditation. I don't meditate, by the way, when I listen to this. I just sit and I just think, yeah. So those of you with anxiety, overwhelm, feeling of loss of control, often it comes out with, we might overuse our phone, we might over-exercise, we might starve ourselves, we might have bulimia, we might self-sabotage, so we're on a diet, off a diet, on a diet for a day, then we binge eat. Alcohol, addicted to buying stuff on the internet, addicted to Instagram. Oh my God, I could, you know, I could go on and on and on. When the anxiety comes up, and yes, we can breathe through it, yes, we can meditate, okay? I want you to say some simple words to yourself when that anxiety comes up. Or maybe you have to do it after, depending on if it's anxiety or if it's gone into a panic attack now. And you have to say to your body, I don't know why I was getting into that pose. You have to say to your body, I love you. I am listening. With that, it's deep, isn't it? I love you. I am listening. And then do the breath. The breath doesn't always have to, it's really hard for me to do the breath without thinking about the goddamn pelvic floor. But I'm doing a new breath now that takes me away from work because I start to think about the breath and the bloody pelvic floor. So not a new breath, it's similar, it's just a new way of thinking. I love you. I am listening. There's only been 5 people, I think, watching, 4 people. Some have already gone off, that's fine. I'd love to know your thoughts on this, where you are in your own life, if you want to pop on this group. If not, then obviously you can private message. I know that not everybody wants everything out there. I'm an oversharer. I'm not an oversharer. I like to share, okay? So things that we can look at. Close if you're in Brighton. I'm sorry, the next couple are Brighton. Oh, bless. So if you're in Brighton, as I said, I just offered you a free bed to sleep in. If you're not, closing of the bone ceremony is coming soon.